the road work in Eleuthera. They're already getting $180 million for this road work. I think it's $183 million for this road work in Eleuthera. $180 million. They just signed another contract for $2.4 million to provide water to South Eleuthera. So they done gone from road work to now they can be digging the holes to provide water. Then they got another company with them, the Rowdy somebody from Long Island. But tell me which Eleuthera contractor could go in Long Island and get a job. And I ain't knocking Long Island. Listen, Long Island, take advantage of the opportunities as much as possible. But I'm saying, are you saying that no one here in Eleuthera is worthy enough to front a contract like how the little boy fronting Bahamas striping and thief getting all the government money for these thieves? Huh? Make this make sense. The least you could do is use somebody in Eleuthera to front one contract. Because no contractor from Eleuthera could go to Long Island to say they're building in Long Island. Not a one. How are you dishing out contracts in Eleuthera, but the people from Eleuthera ain't benefiting? You telling me the young man in Savannah Sound, who have little heavy equipment, can't dig holes on the side of the road, or you can't invest in him so that he can, and just like how you doing with this other company, invest in him so that he could go buy one machine and say, listen, I need you to get the machine, we can give you the money, and you go dig? Because who y'all want to help? Y'all are helping. So why are you not helping industrious, entrepreneurial minds in Eleuthera? What has Eleuthera done? Huh? What has Eleuthera done? What Eleuthera? Listen. We have to be. Listen. Everybody in South Eleuthera is wear shell. Got to be. Everybody in South Eleuthera is wear shell. They have to be wearing shells. Because Clay Sweeten and the PLPCs, South Eleuthera, are skunks. They got to be skunks. Because there's no way that they could uplift the people in Long Island to bring them here to work when you have contractors who could do the job here. Who can make this money? And when you have persons who have dreams, who can make this money? You got a young man in Savannah Sound who deals with heavy equipment and can't get a job. But the man from Long Island can come to Eleuthera, building dock and digging road. Everybody in South Eleuthera does wear shells. Because you got to be a conch. It's conchs. But it don't stop there. Hey, Bahamas, how are you doing, darling? All is well? It don't stop there. Something happened this week. 2 weeks ago. I told you all how the road at Waterford had been dug up since last year. I also told you how they had been putting the fellas on the road, the foreign fellas, and the Bayman fellas who were also working along the contract. They would have them on the road when they were doing work. But when they're not doing work, the foreign fellas would still be on the road getting paid, but the Bayman fellas would be home. And so it was a whole sporadic thing. I told you all how when it was time for that housing project to open in Rock Sound, it took them Friday and Saturday that road to done do. But 5 months on, Waterford and Greencastle hadn't had their roads. I carried on bad 2 weeks ago. And less than 2 weeks later, they paved all of the roads. Now, here's the thing that gets me, because Clay, I really appreciate that the roads were paved. Thank you so much for getting on them people and making sure that they paved the roads. Because I know you do it, Clay, because I know that you manipulative and disgusting like that. You did it. You made sure that they got the roads done. Now, here is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Let me show you all, because Clay is convinced that we're stupid. When they talk about the road, they say, Clay put on his Facebook page at 9:15 a.m., May 29th, 9:15 a.m. Community update. The Eleuthera roadwork project in beautiful Greencastle, Eleuthera, courtesy of our community partners, Caribbean Pavement or Paving Solutions and Bahama Striping. I want you to listen to that again. The Eleuthera roadwork project continues in beautiful Greencastle, Eleuthera, courtesy of our community partners, Caribbean Paving Solutions and Bahamas Striping. Now, if somebody says that they've done something for you as a courtesy, and you ain't paying them for that, they're doing that for you for free. Or they are doing you a favor. So in essence, what Clay is saying to us is that Bahama Striping isn't doing something that they're being paid for. Caribbean Pavement Solutions isn't doing something that they're being paid for. They're doing us a favor by paving the bloody well roads. I missed it. Right there. Right on Clay page. Right on Clay page. Go to the entry. May 29th at 9:15 a.m. Community update. The Eleuthera roadwork project continues in beautiful Greencastle, Eleuthera, courtesy of our community partners, Caribbean Pavement Solutions or Paving Solutions and Bahama Striping, meaning that they are doing these things free of charge or doing you a favor. No, Clay, you ain't doing us no favor. But that's how they want you to feel. But that should also tell you that something is up and something is wrong. And we need to figure out what that is. Because these guys are pulling off some kind of gangsterism and we can't quite understand what it is. I need y'all to watch what's going on. The other day, Bahama Striping got, the road contract was $100 million. It gone from $100 million to $160 million. When they added the other $20 million to that road contract, they did not even tell us. We found out later that it was increased to $180 million. Now, Bahama Striping already have a contract in Exuma. So much so that they were stretched so thin that they couldn't do our work in Eleuthera. They only come to do our work because I was carrying on bad. And the video for that got 15,000 views. So they hurry up, send them here to try to fix that. And they paved what took 5 months. 5 months, nothing done. Was done in less than 2 weeks. Paved from Waterford straight to Helen Greencastle. But he is saying that they did it as a courtesy, meaning Eleuthera, because all of us is where shell, and all of us accounts that they're doing us a favor. Even though they're getting this money, they don't have to do this for us. Even though they're buying whole houses, they don't have to do this for us. I better pay attention. Watch what's going on. Stop letting these people swing your mind. That's what they're doing. But it doesn't stop there. I'll show you something else. And I like showing you stuff. Remember the glass window bridge? Originally, the cost to put in a new glass window bridge and fix it up was $30 million. And then when we heard about it again, it was $60 million from Clay Sweeten. And then when Clay spoke out about the budget, all of a sudden this mysterious 20 million has been added? Because remember now, this is the same thing that happened in the road contract. 20 million was added. First it was, remember, 60 million. It was 100 million, then 60 million was added. And they told us about that. But then all of a sudden a mysterious 20 million was added. Now we have the same thing with the bridge. It was 30 million. Then it became 60 million. And now another 20 million is mysteriously added. These guys are reaping the hell out of the system. They're raping it and scraping it. Mama saying, Mama don't want no raking and scraping in here, but they flicking, raking, and scraping. Whatever they say, they getting this money from their raking and flicking, scraping. Let me show you something else. I trying to move too fast, but I want to show you something else. Remember now, they took no time to pave Ocean Hole Estates. They paved that like that. Just pave it. Pave the whole thing. Pave it quick, fast, and in a hurry. And then the Prime Minister and crew came down on Thursday, May 1st, and they issued keys to the various homes. Anybody remember that? Now, 5 homes were built. 5 homes were built. 5 homes were built. Okay? Well, 6 actually. This is another one. So 6 homes were built. Listen what it says in the article. It says, the owners of 4 of the 6 new homes now completed with the Ocean Hole Estates housing development in Roxanne were formally presented with their keys during a ceremony held on Thursday, May 1st, 2025, and first of 150 home site plan for the subdivision, which expands across 350 acres. This Roxanne property that they give to them to Roxanne property that they gave to the government to construct homes for their people. They build these homes and they run an all kind of racket. Listen. It says in attendance, along with other government officials, the Prime Minister, Philip Brave Davis, and the Member of Parliament, Clay Sweeting, as well as the Member of Housing, Keith Bell. It says 4 homeowners were presented with keys. Aldrin and Manish Kabar, Holly Pierce, because Carly Pierce keys were received by her mother, Stephanie Pierce, Jason and Tonya Cambridge, and Yolanda Brown. These 4 persons. The question I have for you is, because I didn't get the rest of the article. Who owns the other 2 homes? And I hope Bahamas Striping ain't own none of them. Because you know Bahamas Striping been buying up homes and land, allegedly. But 5 homes, 6 homes, sorry, were built. 4 keys were issued. Who got the other 2 keys? You need to ask that question. And stop letting these people treat you like you were in a shell. Anyhow, let's move on. In Mrs. Bite, you know, the Cotton Bay project is coming off the ground. I had the opportunity to speak with Shavagla Knowles with respect to her situation, because Shavagla has a piece of property in Mrs. Bite, a privately owned hill that Shavagla got, and she was happy to have this property because she said when she was a little girl, they lived in a house that always got flooded because the house was in a swamp. And so she said it would traumatize her as a child, having to wake up in the middle of the night and the house was flooded. And so she literally bought herself a piece of land in Mrs. Bite that has a hill. Now, since the Cotton Bay project started, Shavagla says she has had this experience where she had the occasion to go check on her hill and discovered that her hill had been torn down to benefit the Cotton Bay project. When she checked stock to find out who gave these people permission to tear down her hill, they told her Perry Forbes gave them permission. Perry Forbes allegedly works out of the Prime Minister's office. You understand? And when they questioned her. They asked her, and Shavagla says she was in a call with Perry Forbes and the police. The police said to Perry, "Do you have any papers for this property?" Say, "No, I don't need none." Say, "Did you tell these people to cut down this property?" Say, "Yeah." They said, "Do you realize that there's an owner for this property?" He say, "Tell her take me to court." That's the arrogance. Because he's in the Prime Minister's office and he's protected. So, who's Shavagla? Shavagla say he tell them on the phone with her there, "Tell her, take me to court." I've asked Shavagla to go to the property and do a video and tell a story in the video and send that video to me. And once she sends that video to me, I'm going to put that video on my TikTok and send that all over the Bahamas and all over the world. You understand what I'm saying to you? I'd also like to hear Perry's side of the story. Because maybe Perry, well, he say he ain't got no papers according to Shavagla. But if you ain't got no papers, how the hell you sending people to cut down that hill? And if you send the people to cut down that hill, that means somebody getting paid for that hill to get cut down. Who is getting the money for the hill? And I hope Perry ain't getting paid for that. Because he said he had no papers. But he's sending people to cut the hill down. Allegedly. Because I don't understand how that works. But you have this family who, since they've gotten in bed with these people, or in their various offices, they own this place and they can do what they feel like, behave how they feel like, and they don't care who has any opinion about it. And it doesn't matter that you own it. They take it if they want it. And they're flaunting this authority because they are able to work either out of the Ministry of Works office or out of the Prime Minister's office. Because let's not forget now, it was out of the Prime Minister's office and the Ministry of Works office that Cape Eleuthera is now able to put a security boot in the middle of the road. So much so that and it is so disgraceful and disgusting that you have foreigners who have been living in that area for years who are leaving because they are not pleased with what is happening, what the government has allowed to take place in that area. But again, we are conks because we wear shell. Now, this week, the Prime Minister came up with his budget. And he said, yeah, we operating and we can have a surplus. Budget ain't finished yet. But he didn't sing in surplus song. The Deputy Prime Minister say they're going to get this surplus because the government is going to tighten its belt. He didn't say how. But they're traveling now. Even though we're supposed to be tightening our belts. Because the way we think they're going to tighten their belts is not how they're going to tighten their belts. They're not going to tighten their belts by cutting out the luxury that they now enjoy. Thousands of dollars in restaurants. The best life traveling. Up and down, the nicest cars. They're going to tighten their belts. They're not going to tighten their belts by not issuing contracts to people who are going to give them kickbacks. They're going to tighten their belts by not paying some people who they owe. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's what's going to happen. And so the poor reserves ain't get paid on time. And many contractors ain't get paid on time. And you have persons who are working, who have contracts with the Ministry of Works, who completed their work from time and have not been paid. And they will not get paid on time. Because the government is determined to fake a surplus by any means necessary without cutting out their lap of luxury lifestyle off the government, off the public purse. Financial gurus all over this country have looked at this budget inside and out, upside down it and turn it, spin it over, twist it around, and do all kind of things, and they do not see how it is possible for the Prime Minister to end up with a surplus. And they know the budget. People within the government know what's going on with the budget. Simon Wilson still trying to get some people outside so he could box them up. Because he could do that better than actually balancing a budget. You know. But we are conks, not just in the Lutheran, all over this country, if we believe that the way that this government has been operating really demonstrates that they are going to have a surplus at the end of the year without paying, without them withholding payments from people who deserve it or who are owed this money. Because guess what? They can hold it back as a surplus and then immediately in the following year pay off for everybody because they only needed to carry out this narrative that they have a surplus. That's all. Switch, bait and switch. That's all it is. It's gangsterism with finance. I don't even know how to do maths, and I know. This is what they doing. It's a simple thing. Tricksters and gangsters and swingers. Let's wait and see how the surplus materializes. They say they can have, what, $75 million? Or whatsoever. Let's sit down and wait. But these are gangsters. And if you believe that they have a legitimate surplus, then I have a bridge that I would like to sell you. You understand you? All right. Now we closing now. And before I even go with that, let me say this to you, yeah? This country is on the brink. On the brink. Ready to tip over. You know what I'm saying to you? Because that's how slack, that's how these people, listen to me. By the time we finish owing, by the time they finish, we can owe everybody everything. We can owe them our very lives by the time they're done with us. You know what I'm saying to you? Beyond that, we can owe them our life, our children's life, the dog and the cat life. We can owe them the crab life. The crab ain't come out the whole year, we can owe them their life. We have the Chinese getting ready to build a hospital for us. And they're coming in part of the agreement, as the agreement has already been signed or is in the process of being signed. And part of that agreement is that they're going to bring in Chinese workers. Now, mind you, I don't have a problem with them making sure that the work gets done. Because our BM contractors, a lot of them, especially the PLP contractors, are a bunch of crooks. They don't finish nothing. They will continue milking that project and they'll never finish. It'll be wasting the gymnasium. And so I understand why the Chinese ain't want to waste their money. You understand what I'm saying to you? They want to pay for this thing to do so they can look back and say, yes, we built a hospital. This is the Chinese who built a hospital in 10 days. You understand? But you know these payment contractors. The hospital will start here and it's this 2025. And when the hospital finishes, it'll be 2035. And they still trying to milk money of the Chinese. And then don't forget now, even with this budget surplus, the Prime Minister still ain't tell us where the money is from the Grand Lucayan sale. But it wasn't in the budget. Wasn't there? And he ain't answered that yet. And even though they say, oh, we can let the people know what the deal is, then they don't turn, the Prime Minister say, we ain't telling y'all nothing. Because we're so busy signing these heads of agreements that keep us in the dark. And both F&M and PLPs do it, where they sign these heads of agreements that keep the Bahamian people in the dark. The only time a heads of agreement should keep the Bahamian people in the dark is if that's an agreement that isn't related to national security issues. But otherwise than that, a heads agreement for a hotel or some major project should not be secret from the Bahamian people. And the process to keep something secret should be extremely stringent so that it ensures that regardless of what's going on, the Bahamian people are aware of what's happening in their own country. But these people are going and making these deals and selling us out and selling our children out and selling away our rights and selling away our employment opportunities to foreigners. Making deals and pretending they're fixing the problems when they're making the situations much worse. Anyway, I'll move on because I gotta go because it's 12:19. This last one is important. I want to personally salute. She's only an inspector, but I want to salute her. Woman Inspector Ford. Woman Inspector Ford apparently works out of Marathon. And a video surfaced this week of her laying down the law with some foreign nationals in our country. That video has garnered 60 plus thousand views, probably 70,000 views on Facebook. And that has garnered another 40,000 views on our TMI TikTok page. Because Ms. Ford is laying down the law as it relates to immigration. As a matter of fact, I was so impressed with Ms. Ford that I feel that the government needs to give her the leadership, give her the reins of, Quincy says 1019 in Utah. The government needs to give Ms. Ford the reins in immigration. They need to put her in charge of immigration because she knows what she's doing and she knows how to communicate and she knows how to relate, and she did an awesome job handling that Haitian lady in relation to the whatever they had going on. I don't hate Haitians. I have nothing against Haitians. But right is right and wrong is wrong. Nobody can come and go in your country and do what you're trying to do in our country. And the disrespect was so blatant. As a matter of fact, under the video, you had so many Haitians coming under and disrespecting Bahamians, and they don't understand that that's why we have a problem. They feel that they should have a right to just disrespect us and we should just deal with it. And I have a lot of Haitian brothers and sisters who love us. There was one Haitian who actually came up under the video and said, no, this inspector is right. He said she's right, and I'm glad she's taking a stand. He said, I'm a Haitian. He said, but she's right. He said, because this is what we do. We say that the unit is for this person, and when you look, you have a bunch of people living in the place. So she's right. He said, we are the problem. You understand what I'm saying to you? He ain't took no sides. It wasn't as if Inspector Ford communicated disrespectfully. She did not communicate disrespectfully, and Inspector Ford tried to talk, and that woman kept interrupting her. As a matter of fact, she tolerated interruption from her, and I know Bahamian police officers who don't tolerate no interruption from Bahamian people. While when they talking, if the person they talking to start talking over them, they flip out. And here it is, but she was professional at all times. She handled herself well, and she represented the Royal Bahamas Police Force well. But she should be placed in charge of the Department of Immigration because she knows just what she's doing, and she's good at it. And we need people who can lay down the law and be firm. And that was her. I watched that video over and over and over and over and over. I was just letting it play on my phone because of the way that she handled herself. Because we do have an immigration crisis in this country. If anybody listened to that voice note that was, or voice message that was purported to be from Dame Joan Sawyer, you have to be concerned. Now, I don't know if it was Dame Joan Sawyer. As a matter of fact, somebody asked me if it was her, and I told them no, I didn't believe it because it had too many grammatical errors. But sometimes you have to look past that. But you know what it is to have 900 Haitians a week coming into this country to get straight? 900 a week, and some of them, they bringing them in, giving them their documents, and some of them, they meeting their documents, they coming in with their documents. Come on, man, we have a problem in this country. We have a serious problem in this country. Huh? We have a crisis in this country. 900 Haitians a week. Huh? And we still want to fight down, we still, talking about, but we dealing with shanty towns. Huh? How you going to deal with shanty towns if you're bringing in the people to build the shanty towns in the first place? In Palmetto Point, the Haitians are 10-1. In Topham Bay, they piling up in houses all over the place. And no hatred to them, but the reality of the matter is, no, it is too much. You can't get upset with Donald Trump for being an immigration king in the U.S. I love Donald Trump. I really wish we could have a Donald Trump here. The closest to Donald Trump here is Lincoln Payne. Lincoln Payne is the closest we got to Donald Trump when it comes to dealing with immigration in this country because no one wants to touch us. Everybody, when it comes to dealing with immigration, turns into a sissy. The only person close to Lincoln Payne is this same woman, Inspector Ford, and I commend her for the action that she took. She's very good and very focused. She knows her job, and she's doing it well. Because all we got otherwise is a bunch of sissy politicians who are afraid of immigration. And Trump is there showing them what to do, and they ain't learning. Trump deported the Bahamian, when the Bahamian woman get deported, if she ain't done get deported, she getting deported this week. She gone. The hell out of there. Get it together. And more persons can get deported. And while we may have an issue with it, you have to realize that when the problem gets to the point where it is out of control, something has to be done. And I'm not saying that sometimes some innocent people can get caught up in it, and you got to fix that situation. But you handle those situations on a case-by-case basis. But you cannot, because one innocent person may get screwed up, decide that you ain't going to do nothing on immigration in this country. We got people selling affidavits left, right, and center. We got the people in the passport office selling passports. And then when the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is saying that the reports about the sale of passports and visas to Haitians is baseless and irresponsible. No, it is not. It is the truth. Haitians are admitting that that's what's happening. So how is it that Haitians know that they buy in passports and visas and buy in voters' cards, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs don't bloody well know? If you're not a part of the solution, Mr. Minister, then you're a part of the problem. You out here selling bloody well passports. And can talk about this baseless? Huh? Politically motivated? Yes, it is politically motivated, because y'all are doing this to build a Haitian voting bloc to win the next general election. And if we ain't see that, that's on us. But we better wake up, because that's what's happening. The reality of the matter is that's what they're doing. They're literally building a Haitian voting bloc. You know what it's have 900 Haitians coming in this country, being transported on our bloody well plane every week? And we acting like, and they think we stupid. Because all of us were in jail. We are conks. So when he says it's politically motivated, Fred Mitchell and whoever the hell else behind him talking ass, when they say it's politically motivated, they're not lying. That's the truth. It is politically motivated. Politically motivated in that they are using this system and this process to develop a voting bloc to fight against Bahamians. You know we have to be in a messed up place, in a screwed up place. We have to be in a place beyond sense when we are electing governments that are literally using the system to oppose its people. We have to be in an upside down place when our own governments are importing foreigners and giving them citizenship and status and passport and visa and voters card so that they can vote against the Bahamian people. We got to be in a messed up place. But that is our reality. We need a Donald Trump in the Bahamas. And if Michael Pintard can't be it, and Brave Davis can't be it, then we got to vote for Lincoln Bain. If Michael Pintard can't get it done, and Brave Davis can't get it done, because Brave too busy cavorting with the Haitians in the first place, then we have to vote for Lincoln Bain. We have to vote for somebody who has our best interests at heart. And if not for anything else, I'll vote for that. Let me say this again. I have no problems with Haitians. I do have a problem with illegal immigration, and I have a problem with a failing immigration system that is being used against the Bahamian people. And that's what's happening in this country, to the point where these people feel comfortable enough to come under the video of woman Inspector Ford and say, F the Bahamas, cursing the Bahamian people, cursing the country, showing that there's no respect for this nation, this very nation that has saved many of them from starving, this very nation this very nation that saved many of them from drowning, this very nation that brought many of them from off boats. When other countries say let them drown, we still brought them to shore. When the Dominicans were throwing them away and killing them and doing all kinds of things to them, we still showed them love. And the thanks we get is that they override our hospital, override our healthcare system, override our social services system, override our country. And then they turn around and they say, F the Bahamas. You want me disrespecting the police? No kind of regard, no kind of concern, no kind of love for the Bahamian people who brought you to where you are because you think you're doing us a favor in our country. Listen to me. I have Haitian relatives and I love them passionately. You hear what I'm saying to you? But when it comes to illegal immigration, I have a problem. And right is right and wrong is wrong. I have a problem like how Trump have a problem. So I may not agree with much that Trump does, but when it comes to illegal immigration, he and I are on the same page. Deport everybody. Everybody got to go. All out. And where there are mistakes, we'll fix them on a case-by-case basis. Everybody got to go. We need to take that mindset. We have 300,000 Bahamians supposedly in this country. I don't think we have that much. We might have 250,000. I'm willing to bet that we have 150,000 Haitians in this country. You understand what I'm saying to you? And when you raise this concern, they say, how come you ain't saying it to the Jamaicans? How come you ain't saying it to the Chinese? How come you ain't saying it to the Americans? Because they are not a flipping problem, and they're not weighing down the system. When last you see a Chinese in the hospital? Weighing down the system, on the line, can on bad, raising hell, wrecking and scraping and doing all kinds of things. Or an American, or a Jamaican. Huh? If you are creating the problem, if you are a part of the problem, if you are facilitating the problem, you are the flipping problem. It is what it is. And then you won't get vexed when somebody like Inspector Ford stands up and say, no, we ain't doing this in Marathon because Marathon does not deserve this. Inspector Ford, you are right, not this Marathon. The Bahamas does not deserve this. And when you said it right. We got to get it together. Some people can be vexed with me for this, but I don't care. And I love my Haitian brothers and sisters. I have a young lady, good friend of mine, Haitian parentage. And she said to me, Marvin, you know what my frustration is? That here I am. I grew up, I was practically born in this country. Grew up in this country. My kids grew up in this country. We cannot get documents. She said we have guys who I know who came on boats, who came illegally, and they already have documents, passport, voter's card, national insurance card. She said, we live here, we work here, we contribute here. These people who have done nothing here, been here a couple of days, have all their stuff. She said, and I have to be here struggling. She finally got sorted out the other day. And she got it legitimately. She went through the proper processes. She went through the system. She said, Marvin, it hurts me to the core of my soul, Marvin. She said that I know these people. I know they just reached. I know they ain't been here. I know they're not from here. I know how they got here. I know some of them. I know the boat they come on. But Marvin, all this time I've been here, I applied because they say at the age of 18 I could apply. And these people come and they get sorted out. And they don't have no legitimacy in this country. We have contractors selling us out. We have an immigration department that's on the loose, handing out approvals for Haitians to come into this country, for foreigners to come into this country. And see, don't talk about the rest, because the rest is come and then go back home. They don't come here to stay. But they're handing out documentations for Haitians to come into this country, not making sure that these people even have a proper place to live. And then you want to carry on about how you're trying to resolve the shantytown crisis. If you don't make sure that the person who's applying for the place for the Haitian to come into the country, if you don't make sure that they have some place for them to live, aren't you a part of the problem? Aren't you creating the shantytown in the first place by your failure and your inaction? At some point, we're going to wake up. I hope it don't be too late. I hope we wake up before these people have already taken over. I said to you last week, the Haitians are going to create a political party, strictly Haitian candidates, only Haitian candidates throughout this country. They can create a political party with only Haitian candidates. And they're going to win a general election if we don't wake up. We can stop this. Our governments can stop, because us as individuals don't change laws, but our governments can change laws and put policies in place. Trump just reached, and Trump doing all kind of policies, and the same authority Trump has, our governments have. So if Trump could do it, we could do it too. Because governments do what they want to do. The PLP government made a law for Peter Nygaard. Made law for Peter Nygaard for stem cell research. Okay? Under Perry Christie. The PLP government under Brave Davis made a law, cryptocurrency law, for Sam Bankman-Fried. You can tell me now, the government can make laws for billionaires and can't make laws for you and me? Can't make laws to protect our country? Can't make laws to protect our heritage? Can't make laws to protect our resources? Make that make sense. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, it's 12:37. I gotta be up by 2:50, and I gotta be to church in the morning. I love all of you. I appreciate all of you. I apologize for getting you so high to let y'all go now. I love y'all. Marva, it is good to see you. Pamela, it is good to see you. I appreciate you all. Thank God for you all on the TikTok. Tammy, God bless you. So many others. Jessica Joseph. See, Jessica Joseph said the Haitian lady who was telling me the story was telling me the truth. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Dipples, thank you for following us. We appreciate you. DeAnton Powell, good to see you. God bless you. Nikisha, Michelle, thank you and God bless you. Nikisha said, go sleep, son. Nikisha, I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep right now. All right. And ladies and gentlemen, I love all of you. I appreciate all of you. God bless all of you. You all have a wonderful, awesome, and blessed night. Tomorrow night, before I go, if you're not in the TMI WhatsApp group, send us a message at 242-473-8566. Send a message and say, I want to be in the TMI WhatsApp group. Send that to us on WhatsApp and we will add you to the TMI WhatsApp group. Say, I want to be in the TMI WhatsApp group. We will send you the link so you can join the TMI WhatsApp group. All the news is be in there. If you want the latest news, it is be in there. So whatever is happening, we're going to give it to you. All right. Also, tomorrow night, we are doing TMI Sunday in the Word. That is a gospel show where we talk the Word of God. We are preaching about the Syrophoenician woman. But we are going to talk this story. Cindy Sawyer says she wants to be in the TMI WhatsApp group. Cindy Sawyer, send us a message at 242-473-8566. Send us that message on WhatsApp. And you can WhatsApp us, or you can just, I know last time I checked my text message. I need to check my text message. Send us a message, or send us a message here on in TikTok. You can send a message in TikTok and on Facebook. Send us a message in the messenger box on one of those, and we will try and send your telephone number so that we can add you in the TMI WhatsApp group. And you can inform us or you can be informed. You understand what I'm saying to you? Because we want to know what's going on in this country so that we can talk about what's going on in this country. I have more stuff to talk to you about. Next week, I'm going to be talking to you about a young man who went through the police system and how he was physically abused by the police, mistreated, taken advantage of. We're going to talk about his situation next week. And of course, I'm going to be trying to help him with some communication and stuff like that. Tomorrow it is Sunday in the Word. Sunday in the Word. I'll know exactly what the sermon is tomorrow, but I know it's going to be about the Syrophoenician woman, God willing, unless God changes it. His will be done. All right? That's going to start exactly 8 p.m. It's going to be on Facebook. It's going to be on TikTok, and I appreciate your presence there with us. Thank you so much. Dipple says he wants to be in the TMI WhatsApp group. Send us a message on WhatsApp at 242 473-8566, and you can send us that message right there. Say I want to be in the TMI WhatsApp group, or you can send it on Messenger on TikTok, or send it on Messenger on Facebook, and we will add you to the TMI WhatsApp group. You got to send your telephone number once you send it on Facebook or TikTok. But send it on WhatsApp, your telephone number will automatically show. Your telephone number will automatically show. But if you want to be a part of the TMI WhatsApp group, send us a message at 242-473-8566. Thank you. I appreciate all of you. God bless all of you. Thank you for joining us tonight. See you tomorrow night on Sunday in the Word. You all have a wonderful, awesome, and blessed morning. And mind you, this is Sunday morning. If you ain't been to church, if you're not Adventist and you ain't been to church today, or you're not a Sabbath keeper and you ain't been to church today, please go to church tomorrow. God, we love you. God love you. God bless all of you. Good night, everybody. God bless.